Good evening and welcome to yet another fantastic session of Soul Food Sunday. This is again a pre-recorded session, reason being that on Sunday is quite a busy day for me. And we'll definitely just dive in straight to what we normally do best. And to start off, let me introduce myself. I am Lucy Munga, a certified transformative coach recognized by ICF. I'm a leadership and executive coach, and I help our individuals and businesses build a lifestyle business. I'm the founder of the Fab Life community and also the founder of Amara Campus Online, and I support you in building courses, during coaching, writing books, just to help you build a lifestyle business, or rather a business that actually suits the type of life that you'd want to build and enjoy yourself. Tell you what, in this world, we are here to enjoy ourselves. And therefore, whatever we do, let's put in our best and have fun while doing it. Therefore, my role and my desire is to see as many people as possible enjoy their lives. So today, we are going to go into the second part of our financial management talks. It is quite high level though, and it's based on some of the books that we agreed to read on the Fab Life community. So if you have comments, please comment below. And if you would want to join the Fab Life community, there is a link below also. And please subscribe to this channel so that we can have more greater, better discussions as we go along. I'm sure you're learning a lot. For all those people who've been watching these videos, I want to thank you so much. Please continue watching, invite your friends, send a link to your friends so that they can also benefit as you're benefiting. All right, so let's dive into today's topic. As you can see on the screen right now, we have our part 2 of the power of money. Tell you, money has power. There are a lot of people who have other, beliefs that, money is not good or money is evil or whatever it is. But I want to convince you during all these parts or this series of discussions that there's power in money, and there's money that can give you a lifestyle that you've been desiring. Money can actually make your life better, but if not well managed, it can actually mess you up. So you've got to be very intentional in what you do with your money and how you manage it, all right? So today, we are speaking about budgeting, and I will only speak about the 5, these are steps on how you can budget your money. I will only speak about the top 5, and then the other 5 we'll speak about them next week. So 5 steps to budget your money on low income. All right, so that means you can budget even when your income is not as much as you think. It doesn't matter what income you have, you can actually have a budget, and this budget will definitely position you to even to build your lifestyle that you want. Is money the root of all evil? Tell you what, your mindset is what actually makes you a rich person or a poor person. It is not the money that you earn, it's your mindset. Have you ever seen people who are so wealthy, yet when you look at their level of income, it's not as much as you thought other people had? There were many other people who were earning more, or even who inherited a lot more, property, income, and money from perhaps their parents or whoever, their guardians. But somewhere along the way, the person who was even earning much less, or whose businesses were not as big, ended up being more wealthier. It's that mindset that you got to have it right. So what are the signs of poor money management? Because today we are going to discuss about budgeting. Not having a budget, it's a poor money management symptom. So if you do not know where your money goes when you're paid at the end of the month, when you get an income from your business, when you close that project and you deliver it and you're paid all the money, but you do not know where it goes, then you have a problem. You need to have a budget. Lack of personal strategic plan. In fact, in one of these video sessions, I will speak about having a personal strategic plan and how to go about it. I started having a personal strategic plan in 2007 when one of the senior people in Kenya actually called us. And I remember we paid 3,000 Kenya shillings for that session. 3,000 was about $30. And he showed us how to do a personal strategic plan. That was 2007. I've always done a 10-year strategic plan for my life. And I've made mistakes, yes, along the way. But when I look back, right, especially the one I did 2007, revised it in 2010, and then had it up to 2020. When I look back, what I achieved for that 10-year plan, it was more than 50% of what I had planned, all right? It may not have been perfect, but at least it gave me some direction. So you got to have a personal strategic plan, not just for your companies or for your employer. You got to plan your own personal life. Impulse buying habits. If you have this habit of seeing something, shiny object here and there, you just throw a coin here, a coin there, and saying, no, this is only $10. No, this is only 100 Kenya shillings. If you have that habit, you got to have a budget so that you can start, organizing your life and stop yourself from those temptations. We'll discuss them as we go along. Not investing, saving wisely, or even not having even an emergency fund. Tell you what, always remember that when you get an income, as we discussed last week, open an emergency fund for yourself, your family, and for your loved ones. Because anything could happen, and that stream of income or those several streams of income can stop. We all know that 2020, everything almost came to a standstill, right? Anything can happen. So please open an emergency fund account in a bank or in an insurance company as a money market fund, whatever it is you choose. We discussed all these things last week. So please refer to that video if you haven't done that or if you haven't viewed it. Then the other one is assuming retirement will take care of itself. I was giving an example in one of my videos when we were discussing the book Ikigai. And I was saying that my own father has lived a longer life in retirement than he lived when he was employed. Remember, you are only employed for between 30 to 35 years, depending on when you start working. And my own father has lived over 40 years after retirement, meaning there's more life after retirement than before retirement. We don't know about the lifestyles that you're living and how long you will live, but just assume you will live to almost 100 years or to over 90 years. So from where you are, please start taking care of that life that you live then. But I'm not scaring you. All I'm saying is that you should not look forward to being sustained by your children or your relatives when you grow older. Today, I can borrow my dad money and he'll still give me, and he's over 90, right? It's because he took care of his retirement and it's working for him even at this age. He doesn't borrow from anyone. In fact, I would more or less be the one borrowing from him. He took care of that. So be that proud person when you look at yourself, visualize yourself much older, that you will look back and, give yourself a thumbs up that actually you worked hard, you achieved something, you took care of yourself, your family, your loved ones, and your retirement is blissful. You'll be happy that you did what you did in a more organized way. And one way to organize your life is definitely around budgeting. Living above your means. When you see yourself borrowing money from all sorts of mobile money, loans, all sorts of loans from banks, in Kenya, we have the Mshwari, Tala, all those, mobile loans that you keep borrowing, every time. And you find yourself, you're actually not managing your personal life, or you're borrowing to actually buy food, then something is wrong somewhere. You need to start thinking of putting that proper budget for your life. Perhaps there's somewhere you're overspending and perhaps you need to reduce doing that. And a budget can at least help you in organizing yourself money-wise. Okay, lack of personal boundaries. Yes, there are these people who have all sorts of relatives from the village, and every time they ask, oh, give me 1,000 Kenya shillings, give me $10, give me whatever, you're just quick to dish out. If actually you had an account for such, whereby as you do your budget, you put an account where you have some contingency kind of a fund, And if anyone in a village borrows you some money, then that's where you get from, then that is okay. And in fact, I would advise you to do that, because you cannot, in Africa, we do support one another, and it's our parcel of our culture. So just have that small fund somewhere that will be coming in handy to support all those relatives of yours that you know might once in a while call upon yours for your support. But if that budget is over before the month is over, I think sometimes it's okay to say no. Yeah. So if you have utilized all that money, you've already supported the weddings and the funerals, you've already supported this other person for whatever they borrowed it for, then it's perhaps not possible to support any extra. And once in a while, you can say no. So your personal boundaries are very, very important. Perhaps this is another topic that we need to deal with as some near future. Then lack of focus in life. Yes, there are a lot of people. I will not even say young people. There are even some older people over 40 years old, and sometimes they just don't know what they're doing. They're getting that income, they're just buying luxurious stuff, things that don't appreciate in value, they're depreciating. And really, and they're perhaps the ones who are starting to say money is the root of all evil, because perhaps they're even drowning themselves in alcohol and other things because of frustrations. They're not able to manage their lifestyle. So it's important for someone to wake up and realize, I need to be in control of my life. And the only way I can be in control of my financial life and my financial management is to sit down and have a budget as one of the first steps in financial management. Okay, personal financial management. So these are just pointers, and there are many more other pointers as to the signs that can lead you to know whether you are having a poor management skill, and you need to improve on it. So if you resonate with any of these points here, then it's never too late to address it. Okay, you could be okay in some, but some areas you need to improve. We always improve as we go along in life. So don't beat yourself too much. So, but I always say money is good. It's not the root of all evil. Money is good. Money may not buy you happiness, but it plays a key role in our lives. All right? Money will help you achieve your goals, improve your personal wealth, and so on. All right? So we spoke about this last week when we were speaking about saving. And this is a good point here about achieving your goals. Because if you sat down and wrote down what are these goals you want to achieve in the next 10 years, what is this that you want to do with your money? All right? And you wrote them down. Just sit down. It could be even on your phone. It could even be on an Excel sheet. It could even be on a notebook, on your diary. And you write down exactly what you want to achieve in the next 10 years. And you keep coming back and saying, I'm on item number 1, and that's what I'm working on. Then, and this item requires some money, and you're putting in some money, then you're on the right track, right? The other day, I was walking somewhere and with my youngest daughter, who is 13 years old, and we saw a house. There's this house that has been there. It's halfway built, but it's been stuck there for quite a while. I think even more than 4 years. And one thing I was telling my daughter is, this person is trying. This person bought this land, started building, perhaps the money got finished, but he or she knows that the day they will get some money, they'll complete the house. So there's a project going on, and there's a project waiting for that cash. So what that means is that when this person gets that money, it will go to this particular project. If you have no project in mind, if you have no goals in mind, what I'm saying is that you'll always find yourself, misusing your money or allocating it to things that actually don't add value. Always have a project that is, ongoing, or you're planning, or you're going to start, so that you can start saving or investing towards it. So those goals, personal goals for building your personal wealth, are very important. And money makes life a lot easier. Definitely, you agree with me. I don't even need to elaborate on that. One needs determination, discipline, hard work, patience, right? And persistence to get closer to achieving life goals. Yes, remember, you may not achieve 100%, but the closer you are, the happier you are, the better you are, right? You know, I remember someone was giving an example of how when she was in campus, she was dreaming of driving a Range Rover. And what she did was to actually cut up a red Range Rover, a picture, and put it on her profile picture on Facebook. And today she's actually driving that car. That is about 8 years down the line. So always have a vivid and clear picture of what exactly you want to achieve in life. And most likely, and the best thing to go about it, go look at in magazines, get an exact copy of what you really want. If it's a house, it should look like this, the compound should look like this. If it's a car, it's this make, model, color, and everything, and cut it up, put it somewhere where you'll be seeing. It could be on top of your fridge, which you open every morning. It could be in your bedroom, on a wall somewhere where you normally see it. It could be on a door that you usually use more often, so that every morning when you wake up and you open that door, you know, this picture comes, just hits your face, and it's that picture keeps getting repeated in your mind. Remember, most of the things that come to reality, or your reality, is as a result of what is imprinted in your subconscious mind, not your conscious mind. Your conscience is actually able to filter what's happening, but what is ingrained and written in your subconscious mind, and it usually comes from the conscious mind, you keep writing it every day. What you keep writing in there and the pictures you keep photocopying in there is what actually manifests eventually. And that is, and that subconscious mind doesn't know a negative word. It doesn't know that you don't want XYZ. It only knows what you're focusing on is XYZ. It doesn't understand the sentence, don't want XYZ. So it picks XYZ, imprints in your subconscious mind, and that is what will come into your reality. So if in your mind, you believe money is the root of all evil, then those evil things that you're starting to see is what you start manifesting when you get this money. So the best thing that you can do to yourself is start seeing the good that money can do for you, and start printing that to your subconscious mind, and consistently doing that through the pictures, vision boards, and all those things that you hear about. So, and that requires the determination, discipline, hard work, patience, persistence, to be able to get closer to those things that you want. So once you imprint that picture into your mind, then you start setting up goals to achieving that picture through proper financial management, then voila, you'll see yourself progressing in life. Unfortunately, most people dwell too much on the negativities, dwell too much on being suspicious about their friends who are doing well. No, people are working hard. People are building their lives. People are concentrating on their goals, and they have no time for negative energy. And that is why you find some people progressing in life and others not progressing, irrespective of the fact that they all have an income, and even almost equal income, or even some have more, right? So it's never too late to change your mindset and start learning about money management. So if you are listening to this particular video today, start acting today. Start building your happiness through, writing down your life goals. All right. So in this series of money management, we'll be discussing 4 skills. One is budgeting. That's what we've started today. Last week we spoke about saving. We'll also talk about debt management. We'll talk about investing. And I've also we'll talk about your strategic plan, your personal strategic plan. We'll discuss all that before we close this series of the power of money. All right. So what is a budget? This refers to the skeletal framework to determine best use of your money. Skeletal framework to determine best use of your money. These are very strong statements. A framework. If you look at that, it's like you'll have a table with various goals, yeah, that you want to achieve, and then you allocate some money to those goals, right? So it gives you a clear picture of what you want to achieve with your life, where money is concerned, all right? And that gives you some direction in life. Sometimes lack of planning definitely is also a plan to fail. When you find yourself failing over and over again, it's because you lacked the plan of where you wanted to go. So failure was inevitable, right? So you need to establish a specific limits for your money. So once you have all those goals and you allocate the money that you need to spend, so for example, then you give it a kind of a figure. If it's expenses for your house, you give it a limit, a top figure that you cannot spend more than this in a month on food, for example. If you find there is wastage, if you find you're spending more, you need to find out what's happening. Are you cooking too much and then most of it is going to the dustbin? Or is there someone who is taking some food out of your house to, yeah, the house managers that we employ, sometimes they do that. So you just need to have a good plan and give each goal a limit. Then it helps you plan better spending habits, correct? Because if you have allocated all your income or to various goals, then your spending habits are more refined. It ensures that your money goes exactly to where it was allocated and reduces financial worries, stress, anxiety. So all those people you find holding their faces and scratching their hair because they do not know where the money is going, and the people they borrowed the money from are busy calling them and they are being pushed to repay back, those stress and worries will highly be reduced. It doesn't mean that will be 100% reduced because you have budgeted. No, there will be a percentage of that, but it would not be as much as if you had no budget and you had no plan. So now we will go into the top 5, the first 5 steps that you use to budget, all right? This is a flow. You must do step 1 first before you go to step 2. All right. So the first step when it comes to budgeting is to determine the objectives. What's your motivation for creating a budget? Why really in the first place do you even need one? Can you just be getting money and buying anything and everything that you find, right? You need to set your life goals because your life, as I said, you want to build a certain lifestyle, right? So you need to set up all those life goals, right? Because it increases the chances of creating an effective budget, having some life goals. Some examples of reasons or motivations for creating a budget would be debt repayment. If you already have loans, you owe people money, or you have a loan from a bank or mobile loans, whatever you have, you need to allocate how much do you pay per month, and then you have that figure. On that table, I said you draw up either in Word or Excel or even on paper, just draw up that. How much do you owe and what's the total and how much do you pay per month? So you need to have those figures in there. Then if you want to increase savings, then you need a budget for that, because if you reduced on spend on expenses, then you can definitely increase on savings. We discussed this at length last week. So if you have questions around this, please watch the other video for last week. Enhance achievement of life goals like health, food, checkups, yeah? So those are the goals, your life goals that you want to achieve. Like for example, if you want to start going to a gym, definitely you need to budget. How much do you pay your gym per month, right? If you want to have a yearly checkup, definitely you advise to do that, medical checkup, a full checkup. Please also have a budget. How much are you going to pay for that? Is insurance, if you have a medical insurance, then definitely that will pay for you. All you need to have a figure on is how much is your annual insurance premium. So reduce temptation of overspending and therefore stay on budget. Yes, that is a good objective for your budgeting, because if you find yourself you've been overspending, then you need to write down exactly what you use your money on, so that if any other temptations come, those shiny objects, yeah, your friends selling something very nice from a certain country and they are telling you this is the best of the product, and you think, you'll never get this before, those temptations will come. Yeah, and they always come. They have a very good tongue to sell their products and services. So if it's not in your budget, think twice, count 1 to 10, all right? And then definitely the last point is if you want to break away from your payslip, remember, you'll not be employed for the rest of your life. There will come a time when you'll need to take a break, yeah? Do your own things, your personal things, right? And most people call it retire. Other people don't like that word called retire. Yeah, it sounds like you're tired, or I also don't like it anyway. So break free from that payslip. Last week we spoke about you can decide to break free when you're 40. You don't have to wait until you're 60, 70 to break free from a payslip. Let's say you're 25 or you're 30 and you want to break free at 40. So what is it that you need to have achieved within those 10 to 15 years so that at 40, you can be on your own. You're no longer on a payslip. So those goals got to be written down, amounts written down, okay? Perhaps you need to have built your own home. You need to have set up your business by the age 40, and this business needs to be bringing a certain amount of income. Remember, at the time, if you have a family, the children will be in school and maybe mid-primary school and maybe 1 or 2 in secondary school, and you're 40. So where is the income coming from? At that time, if you're breaking away from a pay slip, you'll have medical insurance. Perhaps your organization or the firm you work for has been paying for you insurance. So you need to actually pay for yourself. So you also need premium. So all those things, you need to set them down, write them down, and project within 10 years, how can I break free from a pay slip? So the first point here I'm saying is that in your budgeting is to determine the objectives of the budget. Number 2, once you have the objectives all written down, you need to do a current state assessment of yourself. How are you operating currently? Yeah. What are your spending habits? For you to be able to come up with a realistic budget, not a wish list, you need to understand your current spending habits. How are you utilizing the money that you have? Where does it go? If you already have your bank statements, three statements from the last 3 months or 3 or 4 months, then you have your mobile banking. Of course, money goes in there. Then perhaps the cash that you have been tracking. If you haven't, then you need to do that going forward for the next 30, 60 days. But if you have been tracking how you do, what you pay cash, other thing is the subscriptions that you have online on phone, other things, and anywhere where your money goes to. If you're able to consolidate all that, then you need to write them down, all of them. And then you you categorize them and label them, yeah, on what is this purchase all about. If it's food, then it goes to food. Maybe you went to the supermarket 3 or 4 times within the month, then all that goes into food. And then maybe you also bought, what did you buy? Yeah, some clothes, you contributed to a chama, or chama is a merry-go-round, or you contributed to a funeral. Then using the 50-30-20 rule that we spoke about a while back, if you haven't watched that, please do watch that video as well. You need to see which category is this money, all right? Is it general spending? Is it school fees for the children? Or is it premiums you're paying for your insurance? Or is it a saving for emergency? Or what type of saving? What have you been doing? You need to do a thorough analysis of your spend first. In fact, this step 2 is the most critical. If you don't get this right, then your budget will not make sense. All right? The first one is your goals you set. The second one is analyzing yourself. Then this third step, what is it that you're going to do for the third step? You need then now to start checking your income sources, right? Those small loans are not income sources, so forget them. These are from your business. If you do some freelancing work, then are those several streams of income, right? Maybe you have a pay slip, maybe you have a YouTube channel that is paying you, maybe you're a speaker, you're speaking various conferences, and maybe you do that once a month. Yeah, So if that is consistent, then you can also actually categorize that as a stream of income. If it's not consistent, then yeah, this is just a small piece of yeah, money that came in at some point. So you need to analyze what are the various income sources and consolidate that figure and say, this is my income per month. Okay, be realistic. Yeah. So once you list your source of income, then the next thing is that be realistic, because you better overstate expenses and understate your earnings in order to create a budget that takes into consideration the worst case scenario. Remember, that budget has to be practical. It's not imaginary. It's got to be based on your income. We are talking about your income and how you spend your money realistically. That's why you have to analyze all those things. Then ensure the expenses are less or equal to income figure. So if you want to start, this is the first step to starting to modify or live a better life, is where you ensure your expenses are less than your income. Majority of people, especially those living in urban areas, live beyond their income. They're always borrowing here and there. They're always, their mobile money, they have exhausted all that facility. So ensure that you reduce on those borrowings, funny borrowings, and that your expenses are less or equal to your income. That is the starting point to building your financial wealth or a better lifestyle, right? And then, yes, I was talking about what income is consists of. It's salary, wages, dividends. Yes, if you have invested in stocks. And then your business income, bonuses, passive income. Yes, I spoke about YouTube. And then if you're a business owner and you've not been paying yourself, please consider paying yourself so that you can also add another stream of income from your business. Have a standard figure, all right? How much you pay yourself. You don't just earn this freelancing money and all of it just goes to your kitchen budget, unless it's too little and you're struggling. But try your level best if you have many streams of income to just give yourself an income. If you're not employed, you're not on a pay slip, give yourself a monthly income if you own a business. So this will help you actually come up with a good figure of what's your income. And then the other step 2, we had discussed about what's your monthly expenses. If you have an annual subscription, divide it into 12 so that you know how much you have per month or how much you contribute per month towards that annual subscription. Let's say it's your car insurance, for example, you pay once per year. So if you divide by 12, you'll be able to come up with a figure for the month, because what we are looking for is a monthly income and a monthly expense so that you compare the two. Okay, so, and you need to be as realistic as possible. The next step is that now that you have your expenses all broken down, you have your income, you know the figure, you almost can tell whether your income equals to expenses, which figure is bigger, which one is less. And therefore, to be able to balance that, you need now to start tracking going forward. So you need to open an expense tracker. It could even be in an Excel sheet, it could be in your phone. There's so many, downloadable software that you can download and start, recording how you're spending your money. Yeah, because this gives you an idea on how you spend your money going forward. And also it helps you regulate your spend. Yeah, because now going forward, you'll be more conscious when you're spending your money. And therefore you'll even be able to tell whether you're achieving your 50-30-20 rule that we spoke about a while back. But by the way, this 50-30-20 is just a standard that has been used in the past. So you can actually create your own that you're more comfortable with, all right? But closer to this. This works quite well. 50 on needs, yeah? Needs, that's the food, your electricity, other utilities, and all the needs that need to be done. 30% to your wants, yeah? Those are where you are contributing to your family members and the weddings, the funerals, and all that stuff. And then 20% where you invest, yeah? Put in your money market fund, put in your other savings that you have. but I always recommend a saving environment where you can actually earn some interest. Yes, stocks are good, buying shares in companies, but some companies actually share prices fluctuate, so you don't know where it goes to. But if you're risk averse, like most people are, a money market fund will never go down, or treasury bills and treasury bonds, and so on. So then the other one is include both daily and annual expenses, taxes, fees. Oh yes, don't forget this these deductions that go into your bank accounts or into your, monies that are taxed, yeah, when you're withdrawing. And finally, when you're tracking these expenses, please do have a calendar that reminds you when a certain bill is due for payment. If you're electricity bill, water bill, subscriptions, whatever, put all that in a calendar. If actually you're watching this on a phone or even a computer, definitely those two gadgets have a calendar. Just go into the calendar and mark each item when it's due, especially the standard ones. And those standard ones, as we discussed last time, you can actually even put a standing order, yeah, in the bank account. So because if it's a standard figure, but if it's something that changes, like a water bill or electricity bill, that you can put a reminder on your calendar so that when it's due, you just pay immediately and move on, so that you don't live in debt and people calling you all over. And yeah, it's good to be organized in life. All right, and finally, the fifth item that we're discussing is actually what I mentioned in the beginning. It's your personal financial goals. You need to keep revisiting them, right? Ensure that you make best use of your money and align your budget to your personal goals. Because now you've understood your expenses, how you spend your money, you've understood your income, how how much money you receive. So when it comes now to creating your personal strategic plan, which will have your personal goals, and I said this, we'll discuss about it much later in another video session, list them down, the short-term goals, long-term goals, yeah, like retirement, how much is going to retirement per month, how much is going to emergency fund per month, repaying your major debts, setting up college fund for your children, saving for your children's future, right? There are people who actually save for their children's future so that when, if anything happens, they can continue living the same lifestyle that you showed them, right? Investing in property, you want to build something, you want to build flats, you want to build your own home, you want to, yeah, whatever you want to go into real estate, whatever case may be. If you want to purchase a vehicle, plan in advance, yeah? And also, even if you're not married and you're dreaming of ever getting married, there's nothing wrong with starting that fund, even when you're 20 or 25, even if you haven't found the potential spouse, right? Start that saving into that account. It's important to be organized in life, right? Lack of being organized is what actually is driving so many people into a lot of stress, even depression, because they realize a bit too late that they actually spent money the wrong way. If only they knew, they would have managed themselves better. I remember a couple of people who are retrenched from one of these big airlines in Kenya. And one of them, who was very senior, almost went into depression because things actually turned ugly. He never thought he could wake up day in, month out, without an income. The lifestyle has changed, and spending, we could no longer have the fun he used to have, and or the drinking they used to do with friends, and and the friends were no longer there. So it's very critical you do that. And finally, define goals using this word called SMART. Define SMART goals. SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. So if it's not specific, don't say, I want to be rich by the age of 40. It has to be specific. It's that house I want to buy. Measurable, how much? Achievable, is it achievable? You have to analyze that. Yes, you can achieve, you can actually build that house by the age of 40, right? Is it realistic? Yes. Or is it that you want to build a state house? All right, what kind of a house is that? Yeah, define it. How many bedrooms, the kitchen, the plinth area, yeah? And time bound, you're saying by age 40, I want to have it, right? So that is very, very specific, and it's measurable and you can see it. And from there, that is where you even start with the vision board. How do you want that house to look like? You said 5 bedrooms, you said a kitchen, you said one study, you said whatever you said. It's a maisonette, it's not a bungalow. Then you said how many doors. So now go into the magazines and look for that picture and put it somewhere and start imprinting it in your subconscious mind, and start working using, have a goal for the house, yeah, and start actually saving towards it. And I said even in the last video, if you are actually you're saving towards that goal, it's the next 10 years. If you're 30 and you want it at 40, and you're saying I'll be saving maybe in the next 10 years, how much money per month, per year, and within 10 years, I'll have either a down payment or I'll have all the money that I need, so I'll buy it cash. So it's up to you to set an achievable or a smart goal for you. All right. So actually, I've spoken a lot. I hope you've gotten something, a lot of this. We'll continue with this series. We'll go to point number 6 next time, so that we can complete all the 10 points when it comes to budgeting. But today, what I want you to take home is start defining your SMART goals, right? And write them down so that you're able now to figure them out. Remember, it's not a one-time thing. It takes time to plan all this, because if you haven't done it before, it can be, it can be time consuming. So just start on it so that by next week, then you'll have written down at least a few goals, and you can keep building on them as we go along. All right. So what's your take home today? And what are these things that you start doing? Of course, you start building a budget. Start with step number 1. State your objectives. You have never done that. If you have, sorry for that. If you have built a budget before, then you may need to revise it. All right. And then the other thing is that what are the 3 things that you need to stop doing or you want to change? Yeah. Then you need to decide what that is. And the free budgeting template is in the comment section. All right. So please go to the comment section and have a look at it. And we also have the free ebook, the 2 free books in the comment section. Please click there and you can speak with me. This is my email address. All right. It's coach@lucymunga.com. You can also just type a comment below. And please remember to subscribe to this particular channel. We'll be discussing a lot. If you want actually to learn more and even attend some courses on Amara Campus, just go to amaracampus.com or directly to the courses.amaracampus.com, and you'll be able now to start some of your learning journey. And we will be discussing more and more as we go along. It's been a pleasure discussing this topic with you. I actually also learn more as I speak with you. There are a lot more I tweak on my budgets, on my goals, and as I speak with you, because I definitely discover a lot. And the more you comment on these videos, the better. So you're most welcome. And also welcome to join our Fab Life group. The link is also at the bottom of this particular video. Thank you so much, and let's talk next time. Goodbye for now.